people look alike. All white people look alike. That's everybody's fact. No need to look the other way about it.
White people made a name for themselves
Way back when. Say it now when everybody's looking. I can sing this song cause I live to know it. Do that little thing with the music now. It's a pretty nice color, but it's not exactly white. All white people look alike. 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 They all look like that. Even the bald ones. They all wear white. Even the bald ones. Do that thing with the music. Ba-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum. Ba-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum. Say it loud. They got every kind. Rapists of them, college students of them, boys of them, girls of them. Grandpa is one. All white people look alike. 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 Do that little thing with the music now. Some alibi on the back of the bus, heck, back of the bus. I think the civil rights movement never got far enough in this land, in this country. What do you say, Elma?
Never got far enough, never got far enough, never got far enough, never got far enough, never got far enough.
What do you say, Lynn? Let's hear it.
Never got far enough, never got far enough, never got far enough, never got far enough.
Do that little thing with the music, baby. All white people look alike. It all got its start way back when. Way back at the back of the bus. 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 All white people look alike. Ding ding.
Who was the first president of the United States?
George Washington, a white man.
And who was the last president of the United States?
We don't know, a white man.
White is the color of white paper. White is the color of stars. White people don't look like that. Not all white people look like they dress to just have come out of a candy store. Not all white people get depressed. Not all white people get depressed. Not all white people. But all white people look alike. All white people look alike. They make fads. They make fads of fads. That's not a real fad. It's a fad of a fad. look like white people look alike. I like white people what look like white people like. I like what white people look like white people look like white light. I like people look white light like I like people like white light. White light like I like people what like white people like I like white people all look like. This is white like white people like white. People might like white people what might like white. My people look like white people, all people look alike. All people look like white people look like white. People look like white people look alike. I like white people what look like white people like. I like what white people look like white people look like white light. I like people look white light like I like people like white light. White light like I like people what like white people like I like white people all look like. This is white like people like white. People might like white people what might like white. My people look like white people, all people look alike.
Or flesh color. There's no word for what the color of white people is. Did you know that Eskimos have 27 different words for snow? Not all white people look like they just stepped off the front of a bus.
Not all white people are white like people, not white.
You can sing this song when we're finished with it. White people have a kabillion words for everybody else, but no word for themselves. Let's say Caucasian. Do that thing with the music. Do that little thing with the music now. Do that little thing with the music, baby. White people made a name for themselves, but only one name for snow. This song's about a lot of things. All white people look alike. 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 White people have band-aids, black people have band-aids. Don't put a black band-aid on a white person. Black ones don't match them, white ones don't match them. It's hard to find color-coordinated band-aids. If you're black and you're black and blue, let the bruised blood show up, that'll do. If you're white and you're black and blue, let the bruised blood flow from you. If you're white and you see red, the blood rush upside your head. If you're black and you see red, eyes sore for sore eyes instead. If you're black and you bump your bum, stick it out like a sore thumb. If you're white and you're all thumb, mama told you not to go or come. These are not the definitive, the classic racial distinctions. I, for one, like watermelon as much as any black person could. Watermelon is good. Watermelon is real good. Watermelon is really good.
try to peg them, and you try to guess what kind of music they listen to and what kind of beer they drink and what kind of dog is their favorite. And it usually works. And it's infuriating and exhilarating at the same time. Or some cliche, some expression people use, like, well, I'll take one from right now, but it may be old hat by the time you hear this. Everyone used to say, let's go hang around. And then they started to say, let's go hang out. And now, you ever hear people say, let's go hang? Or like, you ever notice how some people make these really funny S's when they talk about something technical? Isosceles triangle, megabytes. Where'd that come from? Did they all watch some TV show that I missed? Or did you ever meet someone who reminded you uncannily of a friend? So much so that you acted real friendly to this person because you kept thinking of him as old what's-his-name. And if that person ever meets someone who looks like you, they'll probably think, oh, there's that overly friendly type. Or did you ever notice how you can say any two white people are brothers, and no matter how far-fetched, someone will say, oh yeah, I can see the resemblance? Or have you ever heard a white person say that technically black people are more similar looking than white people because they have less variety in their hair? Or how when you move and go to a new elementary school, all the kids look the same at first? Or how many white people have you met who told you they have American Indian blood? All over the country, in every city, and in the rural areas, there's people from unrelated backgrounds popping up into identical twins. People whose sets of parents are no more similar than any average set of white parents. Maybe it's the gene pool, maybe it's the programs they watched on TV during the formative years. Let's take Valley Girls. You remember that Valley Girl fad? Well, how many people remember Valley Girls from before the song came out? Oh, I'm sure you saw them, or were one. You see, they weren't started by Moon Zappa. She just picked up on them, made a thing of them like yuppies, but they existed before the song. And not just in the San Fernando Valley, but in places like Kansas. It was an accent, an accident, blah, blah, and on purpose, springing to life from whatever their parents were or were not alike, creating themselves from what it was before. Now, how many times have you thought up something and later on someone did it on TV and you got mad because you had thought of it first? Or you got into African music and you said, hey, I better start an African music band because pretty soon everyone's going to be into African music and I could lead the bandwagon. Or here's a personal example. There's a line from this song that's just like a line from that movie True Stories by David Byrne. But that's just how it goes. It's not a conspiracy. We don't send out spies. We synthesize, creating ourselves from what it was before. Maybe it's the times. Maybe it's the playing out of vast stochastic systems of cultural change. There's probably another song that sounds just like this. We all look alike. Like yuppies, like Valley Girls, like the people who made up breakdancing, only now they're on TV. Now they're stylized. Now they're a formula. They're rock and roll. Now you can cook them and eat them and save the leftovers for later. Now they have been removed from flux. Flux is back and forth. Flux isn't linear. Flux isn't static. Flux isn't advancing or getting better or gaining on the future. Flux isn't returning to old times. Flux is flux. Oh, all white people look alike. Get everybody's goat and let the real goat escape happy. You see, you can't garner flux. When the communication gets in gear, it tries to put its fingers on flux. It says, we're starting from here and going to here. Mama told you not to go or come, but you can't hold flux. For every ounce of progress, there's a pound of nostalgia. It's the pounds of flux upon you. That's why this song's about a lot of things. That's why we keep changing our minds. It's just a communication. That's why we all look alike. It's because we're all rugged individualists. Each of us, all of us. We've seen ourselves on TV before. The communication is trying to put its fingers on everybody's flux, and the flux will not respond. Flux is the color of my true love's hair. Not all white people look like they got caught in a traffic jam. Not all white people look like they like to look alike. The communication, of which this is a communique, a member, a circuit, a digit, persists its fingers in everybody's flux. Its fingers all thumbs on the pulse of the American people, the white people of the West, the dominant culture of the world. The communication, with its ever more sensitive fingers, all looking out and looking in and looking alike, railroading its sensitivity against everybody's flux, freezing and stultifying flux, trying to fix flux, but the flux fights back. The flux says fuck off with infinite variety, flirting with the random, brings home the flux, brings down the house when it takes the floor. Mama told you not to go or come. Come on, go on, come off it, off you go. How many people here have used the expression go for it? Come on, go for it. The people say, come on. The fingers say, this is this. The fingers specify. They point to where everything is, like the hands of a clock when you blink. They say, you know what everything is. The flux flips them off, flips them out, flips them off the place where those who need to land, where everybody looks alike a light, scrambles them up like open the door, see all the people, like your toes and their sympathetic fingers, and it's all thumbs again, sticking out like sore thumbs and eyesores for sore eyes, shuffling their fingers so they start pointing again. This song is about a lot of things. The hell you say, go figure. And everybody ends up on TV, either watching it or being watched by it, or seeing every everything they believe, or saying they should put this on TV, and then they end up on TV. There's fingers pointing every which way. And if some guy comes along and says, white people all look alike, what are you gonna say? The revolution will not be televised? Well, will it be on a record? Does that square with you or anybody? And what's an artist supposed to do? Act frustrated or cynical or sarcastic? Very modern, very old hat. The communication never got far enough in the land of this country. What do you say, audience? It's pointing at you. It's fingering you. It's giving the finger to you. Here's what we say. We say, what's so different about white people? They all look the same. They're all completely different. And the communication doesn't get far enough. Stirs all our examples into vanilla soup with 31 identical flavors. So, what do we say then? How do you stretch those fingers? Release that grasping clutch. Tie him up in a circle. Time to flex your flux. Tie him up in a circle. All white people look alike. All white people shave alike. All white people behave alike. All black people look white. White and black people look alike. All those other people look alike. Look at, I can't tell if I'm white. Look, ma, no hands. Mama told's not come with no hands.
All white people sing alike. You can tell them on the phone and in the night. You can see them in the day because of all the light. You can see them throughout time because the time is always right. You can look at them and sing with them if you like. Everybody loves Saturday night. People from other countries look alike. People of similar ethnic backgrounds look alike. People of the same sex look alike. I've seen them. People look at the stars and think at night. People look the same as people of the same type. All white people look alike. Nobody should know what anybody else looks like. People look white or whatever they look like. People look alike and that's alright. People look alright and always right good night.